Well, I don't know if this is what you'd expect to hear, but it's very common. Many people struggle with this form of addiction, and I do encounter it in my practice.
Okay. I'm not really the only degenerate.
Oh, you are.
Oh, what?
The only one of all my clients. No, kidding, of course. It's actually very commendable that you are willing to say something about it, because there's no shame in admitting you have an addiction. It's the first important step you need to take on a path to any form of recovery. And I know that we don't have a ton of time, but is this something you'd be interested to talk to me more about?
Yeah, I mean, I can keep it short.
Sure. Why don't we just get the ball rolling? How long have you been struggling with pornography addiction?
About 2/3 of my life.
That's a long time. It's a long time. You must have been very young.
Yeah, I was 11 years old.
How did it happen?
I wasn't that well supervised as a kid. My parents were divorced, and whenever I'd be staying at my dad's place, he was usually still at work when I'd come home from school, you know? So, I mean, curious kid on the internet. Like, what else are you going to get up to? But, yeah, funny story. It was around the time that the movie Tomb Raider came out. You know, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie.
My gosh. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Enough said. You
nice...
look at the poster and it's like, well, I was really wanting to see those titties, man. So the first thing that I look up is Angelina Jolie naked. And didn't find it, but the first thing I click on was this website. I got this page comes up. This is terrible. I'm just going to power through it. So anyway, this page comes up and it's a dude, a guy who's pissing all over a girl's face. Or he was ejaculating or something. I don't know what it was. I was young then. I didn't know. There was fluid coming out of a guy's dick going into a chick's face.
Gotcha.
So I was disgusted. I was like, this is not what I came here for. I just wanted to see some naked girls, man. Anyway, so I'm clicking around, trying to find something, and I'm just like dumbfounded. I'm kind of like, why do all of these women have nipples? You know, I was 11 years old. I was used to seeing like Barbie doll boobs, you know, just bare mounds. So yeah. I was really confused by that. I was shocked and horrified, and yeah, it took me a little while to get over that one.
But you did eventually.
Oh, I got over it.
Okay, good. That we'd have a different session.
I think we all get over it. But I was 11 years old then, and I'm 33 now. I make a decent amount of money. I'm an okay-looking guy. I do reasonably well in the dating pool. It's just nothing ever sticks. I don't really need a relationship when I've got porn, man. It's just easier.
Right.
I guess it's just it's easy, it's fast. You jack off, you get it out of your system, you get back to what you were doing, and you don't have to work for it. And frankly, it's better than hooking up with a girl who you're only somewhat into anyway. So, like, I literally remember one time I had sex with a woman, and as soon as she falls asleep, I go into the bathroom and...
Oh, I see.
I rolled some dice.
Right. Do you ever have trouble getting an erection without the use of pornography?
No, not when I'm with a woman. Like, I like real sex. It's just that, I guess it's just not enough.
So no erectile dysfunction then?
Okay, I'm not 70, I'm 33.
Right.
Do you have it?
Well, we don't have time to get into me and all my issues.
Oh.
But no, I don't have it.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. No, I only bring it up because it's getting even more and more common with younger and younger men.
No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, every situation is different, but I've seen some trends in my clinical practice. And before that, I had a residency in an addictions clinic.
So you've seen a fair bit of this. Like, what's the prognosis?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, do people change their behavior? Do they get over it? Do they recover?
I would say that I see a lot of improvement, at least for the duration of therapy. But I do see a lot of relapse as well. Probably because the technology is so pervasive. The ability to access it is everywhere. It's in your phones, it's in your tablets, in your Kindles, your everything. Anything that has a screen, basically, you can access it. And then you combine that with this biological imperative that's even more dire for men on average. You have this perfect storm, you know? It's like hand in glove situation.
Okay, so it's hopeless.
Yeah. No, it's not hopeless. No, of course, I wouldn't be a very good therapist if it was hopeless. It's just tough, you know? It's a tough situation. But there are strategies. There really are. Really, it's a behavioral addiction like any other, is the thing. It's like gambling. It's dopaminergic. There's a trigger, there's an action, there's a release, there's a process. And if you have the right strategy, you can cope with it and you can reroute it to something better. And I'd like to get into it a little more, but all I'm saying is you just need to have the right strategy.
Guess we're out of time, aren't we?
Yeah. But before you go, I just want to say that I really felt like this was an insightful session. Like, you really opened up, and I appreciate that. If you're open to it, we could talk a little more about this addiction, and we can start discussing some of the strategies for recovery.
Yeah, I'd be open to doing that. Okay. Okay, so degeneracy discussion next week. I'll put it in my calendar and get Siri to remind me.
No, I know you're just being funny, but I hope you know you're not a degenerate just because you have an issue with pornography. It's very common. What's uncommon is the will to do anything about it. So this was a very good first step, and I'm glad you said something.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Doc.
Right.
Thanks.
Next week.